Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Tuesday. Blackout Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. And I'm here with your social media guru, Miss Terry Johnson. And you can find her everywhere online at Terry Johnson Online, all the way from New York City. I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She is on the road today, helping people stream and get their message out. So we just want to say, travel well, friend, and we'll be watching. In the meantime, we ask you, how you doing, Jill? Jill's in here from Breathing Space because we're
Hey,
gonna need to
Jill.
breathe today, Jill.
Yes, we need to breathe. Good morning.
We need to breathe.
And Gabby is here.
Hey,
Well,
Gabby, how you
we
doing, girl?
we finally made it.
Yes,
I had
I
some
want
tech
Gabby to
issues.
know I took a nice long bath yesterday,
Oh,
Gabby.
cool.
So I'm feeling your business right there. Thank you for
Yeah,
giving us that outlet. We did. We had some technical issues today, and that's why
yeah,
we're getting started a little late today. But hey, live is live, and
yeah.
we have no control over technical issues. So we just want you to sit back, relax, join the conversation because Terry's got some dynamite information for us. And I have been talking to a number of my customers about a brand reputation. They are just
Yes,
something
yes.
and because they're the only Negro in the room, suddenly they're an
hmm
expert on Negroes.
Oh, yeah. We
And
we
they're
are
supposed to
gonna.
fix 400 years of history. So people are a little stressed out about
We
this
can't.
subject,
Yeah,
Terry. Take
yeah.
it away.
We can't stuff 400 years into the amount of time that we have now. Well, I want to say welcome to the discussion where we talk about digital marketing topics that could be branding, SEO, social media marketing, digital marketing, websites, everything, email marketing, content marketing, all of that stuff. So today we're continuing on the topic from last week. So if you missed the show last week, please go and watch the replay. And also, I want to say to the replay viewers, thank you for watching. I know that you may not be able to watch live, but I know that you come and watch after the live. So the discussion is still going on. Please put your contributions, your thoughts, your opinions in the chat because we do read them. So thank you. And also share this conversation out. You know how to do that on the platform that you're on. Let others know about the discussion. That way we have more contribution, more voices, and we can, learn more because that's where we are, right, Terrell? We're in the learning mode for
Yeah.
some reason.
I mean, the country is in a learning mode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I just think it's time
It
to
is
have the
time.
hard conversation.
Yes. Thank you for
Hmm.
saying that. We are having hard conversations. So that's the topic of today because we talked about it last week a little bit. There was some things going on. Some online entrepreneurs were getting these hard questions about what's going on into society right now in the country, in the world. It's not even the
Yes.
United States, it's the
Check
world.
this out. We got comments here
Okay, let's see the
Israel.
comments. Yes. And Gabby says, I've got my chamomile tea. I'm ready for today's
Girl,
discussion. Thank you. I don't have my
I'm with,
tea, but I have my
I'm with you,
water.
Gabby. I got my chamomile tea and I'm
So
doing
let's
the
take
do.
a sip. Because when you're having hard conversations like this, it's almost 2 weeks, I believe, that it started with, unfortunately, what happened to George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd. That's what we're calling it, because it was a murder. It was, that's not up for debate. Some people still are debating that and trying to bring other topics in the conversation to discredit his character. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Here's what's frustrating to me about this topic. People who are not impacted by this want to move on.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
they
Mm-hmm.
just want to move on.
They want to move on.
Well, you know what?
We're not.
2 weeks out of 400 years,
Listen, it's
this
two
might
weeks.
not be enough.
It's 2 weeks right now, but I'm telling you, it's going to continue on because there's going to be a march in August
August.
to kind of continue on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. last march that he was going to put together. Actually, it was put together, it didn't happen because, you know, unfortunately, he was assassinated. But there's going to be a march on Washington to continue that. It was the Poor People's Campaign, or the Poor People's March, which was concerned about people in society who are not getting the leg up that they needed, and they still
I
need.
remember that.
Yeah, so I think they're continuing that vein of conversation. That's going to be, so it's not going to be just 2 weeks. So buckle up, Buttercup. If you don't want to hear it, you might. I don't know where you're going to go, because
And I think the difference too is people are making a list and they're checking it twice.
Oh yes, so that's a part of what we're talking about, because what does that have to do with digital marketing and business? A lot, because you have to say something. And I told you last week to sit and think about it if you didn't know what to say. And I'm glad to see a lot of people took my advice and it worked out great for them, because I said, take a moment, a beat, a breath, absorb what's going on, read and look and concern, ask questions, and then say how you feel about the situation. Say how you feel about it. And that's the truth of
and
you.
it's okay to say you don't know.
Right. And I saw a lot of that, which I was like, okay.
And I think that's appropriate. It's the same thing we do when someone passes, and people want to say something flowery. How about I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm so, you know, what do you say when someone passes? You say, my condolences, I'm sorry for your loss. But you don't make it about you. You make it about giving your condolences. You know? That's all that can be said about that. That you need to think and reflect and say what's from your heart, but think and reflect and absorb and read the room. Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, see the little Facebook, see the little snippets of conversation, because there's a lot of hard conversations going on. And some people are some people have talked off the cuff or off the top of their head without considering the other side, and they've gotten into trouble with it. We talked about it on Friday. One of those people was Drew Brees, which he's the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And I have a tweet from his foundation, which I think his situation is a good one to apply for marketing and business and PR, because he said something, didn't think about it, and then he said something. Well, he put out a PR statement, that was a wrong thing, and then he said something else, video, and that was a wrong thing. But finally, his wife said the right thing, and she said,
"Thank God for women."
Yeah, his wife. Yeah, see, women. So his wife came to the rescue, because it's still a whole situation. I've been watching some, because I don't watch a lot of sports commentators and stuff, but there's a Shannon Sharp and forgot the other guy name on ESPN. They have a show called Undisputed, a good little talk show about sports. So I like football, I like basketball, but I'm not like a fan. I mean, I'm aware of players and things like that. But I love the conversation that they were having, because Shannon Sharp is an ex-football player. He's Black. And the other guy, I want to say Stu, I'm not sure his name, but they sit opposite the table. Do you remember in that show Point Counterpoint? There was a show called Point Counterpoint, and it was a woman years ago. I'm sorry, as a kid, I was a news junkie, a history junkie as a kid. So I remember this show. I don't remember what channel, but it was called Point Counterpoint. It was a white male and a white female, and one would say something and the other would counterpoint. So it's kind of like that on this Undisputed, which is on ESPN. And they face each other on the table, and Shannon Sharp says his thing, and they would talk. I was interested in the conversation about Drew Brees, and then the other guy, I think his name is Stu, he says what he said. So it's like a balance. Okay. So I watched some of that. The thing with Drew Brees is that he said something that he believed in, but was out of step with, and this, I'm gonna give him a little break, because when he said it, Well, I'm maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to give him a break. But at the beginning of this conversation, early days, a lot of people weren't paying attention. You could tell there's a different feeling in the room with America and the world, that this is a concern, whereas before they would have swept it under the rug. They would have said, oh, we don't, we don't care. But see, pandemic, coronavirus, we're stuck in the house. This came along, people got mad, especially in all the cities, and said, we're going out to protest. We're going out to protest, and we don't care about coronavirus, even though they should, because our Governor Cuomo, was like, if you went to the protest, assume you have it and get tested. So, which is a good thing. But it's this thing has been under the rug for so long.
Well, I think people feel like either way they can't breathe.
Right. That was it. That's the statement. I can't breathe. I'm tired of being in. This is something that we need to talk. It's momentum, guys. That's what it is. You see, and I saw it in the early, when it first started, it's momentum that you see everybody coming out and protesting. It's not just black or white. It's everybody, which is a good thing, because the hard conversation needs to be had. But on the other side of that, you have people that don't want to have the conversation.
Girl.
I've seen all my groups, somebody is, oh, this is not the place for political discussions. It's not political. It's a humanitarian discussion. It's not political. Now, there are people that are making it political, and if you want to follow those people, then you go right ahead. But this is a humanitarian issue, which affects society, which affects your business. And I've seen the effects. Right. Absolutely. Okay, we got some comments here. Brenda says, think before you speak. Exactly. Here we go. Barbara says, hi, ladies. It is about listening. Yes. And then Brenda says, that's what my elders told me. Right. The elders. What was said before, everything that was said is been said before, but now people are listening.
Brenda, as an elder, this elder sat around in circles and tried to figure out what were we going to be called. Colored people, Negroes, Black, African American. We had these conversations in college.
Yes, we always have
over 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now when you come to Grandma's got a different attitude than my grandma had.
Yeah, and see, you know what I've noticed, that a lot of Gen Z and millennial, they have a different way of thinking and how they want to be called. Some don't want. I heard a conversation in one of my groups, a millennial. I'm thinking the millennial, but one of the younger people was like, they don't want to be called with Black because that's a negative association. And I'm on the other side of the fence saying I want to be called that because that has a connotation for when I grew up. So just keep in mind that these Gen Zs, they have a different discussion. Yeah, they have a different thing. They want to be African American and they want to be something else, and that's cool. That's good. But I'm saying, I'm going to use the word Black. Breathing Space Jill says, while I appreciate businesses speaking up or taking a stance, however, sometimes the statement feel contrived or shared out of shame or self-centered or a reactionary statement. I trust what people do in the next weeks, not only what you're posting. Thank you, Jill. That's perfect. I wanted to bring that up too.
Yeah.
That just because a corporation or a business, or you as a business owner, or anybody that's a business owner online, they are trying exactly what Jill said. They're posting a Black square, or they're posting Black Lives Matter. But do you really feel that way? Or you're just posting it because, I don't want to be shamed. I don't want to be left out of conversation. But that's why I said you sit
I don't want to be called out.
Right. I don't want to be called out. But see, this is why I say you sit and you breathe and you read and you absorb and you let that feeling come over you. Don't just post a Black square or say Black Lives Matter if that's not what you mean. We don't want those kind of people because they don't help the hard conversation. Just like Jill said, you trust what people do in the next week and month, not just what you're posting. So that's where you let your actions speak louder. I posted some stuff on my Instagram about, saying things and being true. And I think I said something about, if you want to be good, you don't tell people that you're good. You let your actions show that you're good, because that's what we're looking at now. We're tired of the talk. We've been talking about this forever. new people are coming in the conversation and going, yeah, I believe, I'm down with you, whatever. But no, we have to see your actions.
And all the while, getting rid of affirmative action and dismantling the things that are helping just a minutia of equality to take place.
Yeah, things are happening right now where policymakers, lawmakers are talking about things, and that's good. Now we need to see the action. Talking is cheap, but we need to see the action. Who else is here? Oh, Robin. Good morning. Good morning, Robin.
Yes, there was a little old lady in my church that used to say all the time, talk is cheap, but it takes money to buy land.
There you go. And Gabby says, yes, a lot of these posts and statements seem like template because they are. If you feel like when you see that, that's the feeling. That's right. I've felt that too. I've seen some things where people have posted just because, we're, in these trying, and I hate when I hear these words, in these trying times. I'm tired of hearing that because we all know we in trying times. Stop saying that. Say something real.
Ever since the auction block. People, please.
Gabby says, I also noticed a lot of ads with black faces, but when you click on the link, there are no black people on the website. Yes, and that's where, if you feel comfortable, Gabby, call them out. That's what we're doing now. You can say that you feel this way, or you doing this. What have you donated? Who's on your board? What the CEOs, the top officials, the top officers, the VPs in your business.
They are asking them to post the pictures. See your statement now. Show me a picture of your board. Show me a picture of your management team. Show me a picture of your supervisors. Show me a picture of somebody who looks like me other than the cleaners.
Yeah. Remember in school you had to do show and tell?
Yes. I love it.
You got a show now. We don't want to hear the tell.
Now here's the other thing. What is the app that does restaurants? Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now. It escapes me. Oh, Yelp. Yelp is starting a place on their website where black businesses can list themselves so they can be found easily. Now that is
good. That's action. You want to see action. Words, yeah. We want to see action. Brenda says, I will admit I was perplexed by all the different references, and it's by generation. Are you talking about the Black African American POC?
Girl,
it's generation. It is generational, Brenda. It is generational.
Brenda, have been everything. I've been colored. I've been Negro. I've been Black. I've been African American. But the bottom line is, one drop makes you whole in America, according to the Black Slave Code.
And it's generational. Like I said, the Gen Zs, they want something else. They think black is a negative term, and I don't. But because I'm a different generation, like Negro, people think Negro is it's not a negative. It's not negative. It's just that in that time period, that time period in civil rights history, we were called that, and then we said no, we want to be black. And I think that came out after the civil rights in the 70s. It was like, James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. So now they have people of color, which is a term that I don't want to use because that doesn't signify anything.
It doesn't. It does not distinguish me,
a person
because my journey is different.
Right. So we're talking about black issues.
Hey, William, black. How you doing?
To me, it's not a negative. Hey, William. Okay, let me get back to the comments. William says it's a great time to be alive. Yes.
Yes, it is, William.
I skipped one. Okay, this is Jill. Jill says there was a day of silence is complicit hashtags. Silence can mean you are listening, self-reflecting, or don't need to defend yourself, including business practices. I've been fairly silent, and I'm not complicit. Yeah, see, you don't have to speak. And I said that last week, but there are things you can do. You can help out in some way. You can educate someone. You can give. You can donate your money or your time. I've even seen people feeding protesters and do it. They don't want to protest, but they're feeding the protesters, or they're
providing water.
Yeah, they're supporting. Not being the face or the front line, and that's okay. No one is forcing anyone to say or do anything they don't want to do or say. That's why I was saying that you live in this world. Everyone lives in this world. You see what's going on because you watch the news, you go on Twitter, you go on social media somewhere, or you having conversations locally. So everyone knows what's going on. It's up to you to decide how I want to say what I want to say, and don't feel pressured by, like we were saying about the corporations that, oh, we must put out a Black Lives Matter statement. We must put a black square. Nobody said you had to do that. You don't have to do that. I have some samples of and let me bring that up real quick. Oh, sorry. Let me do the comments first. There's some more. I love
Hey, how you
Robin.
doing, Carlos?
Robin says we've got to contribute to educate and converse, ask questions and learn. That's it. That's it. Ask questions, learn, listen and speak. Do both. Listen and speak. William, William, I put your comment up. Thank you. And Gabby says IG is currently being called out about their verification process of Black-owned business. Oh, I read some things about Twitter and a verification. So a lot of these social media sites are looking at their processes. All of this is good. Pulling back the rug, because remember we were sweeping it under the rug for 100 years. That's a big pile of stuff.
There are some corporations that are taking down the comments. Now, if you are in that kind of position, I wouldn't recommend that, because what you're saying is you're still squashing the voice of your customers. Just give me your money and shut up.
Yeah. So Carlos says, to the universe, no lives matter. We are a specific or special. Give me the rest of that, Carlos. I want to know the rest of it. William says, not all soldiers are on the front line. Every soldier on the front line has many people in support and logistics behind them to make their mission possible. Exactly. It's like a military or war. I hate to use that terminology, but you have a front line, you have the 1st battalion, 2nd battalion, 3rd, it comes in waves. So everybody, and also in the military, and I say that because I was in ROTC in college, but there are other divisions that support the main front line. So that's what I was saying about, you don't have to be a protester and be out there in, because coronavirus, you may not want to be exposed. There are other ways to contribute. Carlos says we have to determine our own value. Yes, I agree with that.
Hey, Khalid.
Hey, Khalid is here. Khalid is here. World is opening up slowly but surely. Yay. And he has a heart. Yes, slowly. We want to do this thing slowly. We don't want to rush out. That's why we're having the hard conversations. And what's that say? I was going to say something before that. I forgot. But we're having a conversation, which is necessary. Oh, I was saying about sweeping under the rug. So when we sweep under the rug, that you get a lump, and it gets so big you trip over it. So that's what happened. It's like the conversation is happening now because it needed to happen now, because there was an opening. There was a collective, stopping of the world. Everybody is captive, and it was like, okay, it's time to pull the rug back and sweep that stuff out and get that, get it out in the air and do that.
And it's not going to be cute.
No, it's not. That's why I said hard conversation. Hard conversation, but necessary. So, what I'm seeing is in a lot of my Facebook groups, excuse me, that, like I said, some people are posting things. Other people are saying, why are you posting that? This has nothing to do with the group. I'm here to learn X, Y, Z. There should be no political. And see, the thing is, Facebook, it got to be so bad that Facebook put out a statement, and I have it. I wanted to show it to you, about groups, about Facebook groups. Hold on, guys, my browser. So Facebook groups, they had to put out a statement about the management of Facebook groups, because a lot of this is happening in private groups or public groups, but it's all run by someone who started the group. So the person that started the group sets the rules, and you have to follow the rules. Okay, I want to bring this up. I'm going to read the statement, but I also have the link. Hold on. Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna put up these comments from William. William says 2020 is like unlike any year I've seen in 47 years. Well, hold on, sweetie. If the conversation isn't comfortable, just imagine living it. And see, that's what I want to say to Jill, honey. You're doing your part just by walking the planet.
Yeah. Just by caring and being.
It's about being human. Thank you, Robin.
Yes. Okay. Let's get.
She also said, "Look,
yes.
I love your rug analogy. It's time to get the vacuum out."
That's it. It's time to get the vacuum out because the lump under the rug is so big that we're tripping over and we fell over and go, oh, it's time to clean that up. So let's clean it up. So now Facebook says that this is the title from The Verge. It's an article from The Verge, but they also have a link to Facebook's official statement. So the title was, Facebook tells group admins to consider adding people of color as moderators to help them navigate the Black Lives Matter movement. And so I want to bring up the link. I'm going to bring up the link to the Facebook statement, not the article.
Hey.
So,
have you in the House Media Scope.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the official statement. Navigating your community through race and social issues. Here are a few starting tips in navigating these community conversations and some Facebook tools you can use to manage your community during this time. So they're saying Facebook groups are a place for people to share their interests with others, but share their experiences and seek support. A lot of people are reaching out to the communities right now, both on and offline, to discuss racial injustice, share personal experience, and organize ways to support. Some admins may be unsure of how to manage these important discussions in their communities, especially for groups originally created around a topic unrelated to social issues. So that was their statement of, okay, here's some, you need to let the conversation happen. Here's some tools and we're going to help you. I'm going to put a link to that here if you guys want to read it on your own.
That is interesting because I know in some of these groups where they, like, for instance, crafting groups, they're upset because now some of the members are posting things about Black Lives Matters in their crafting objects, whereas before when others in the group were posting things like different kinds of things that support Trump or that supported asking for Obama's, birth certificate,
all of
things. Nobody said anything. Now,
right.
now they want the conversation to stop and they're actually taking down their posts. Really?
So here they have some tips for navigating these conversations within your community. Take the time to educate yourself and your team on issues prior to engaging with or shutting down conversations with members. So Facebook actually had to tell people, look, don't just delete people's messages and say, oh, well, we don't allow political messages or posts in this group. And it's not political. But this is not a political situation. Some people have tried to create that narrative, but that's not the truth. So they're saying, do some research and figure out how you want your community to approach discussions around race and social issues. So I just wanted to bring that little statement up from Facebook.
Girl, there's some good comments over here. Check out Claudia's comment.
Claudia, hold on.
And William.
Yeah. So this one. If the conversation isn't comfortable, just imagine living it. Exactly. That's our point. Robin says, this is not political. It's about being human. Exactly. Hey, Tachi, Dr. Tachi, good morning. So, I mean, that's what's going on. So what do you think about Facebook and their...
Well, we got some more comments.
Okay, so so Claudia says, like, Serena's husband made a commitment to add Black people to his board of trustees. Yes, again, that was a controversial why, but it was a controversial thing that blew up and people got mad at him. It was like, why did he do that? And they're saying that his wife made him do that. Serena Williams made him resign from the board of his own company. No, he did that. And he explained why. So if you listen to his, if you read and listened to his comment and his statement, you'll understand. He explains clearly. He explains it clearly why he did what he did. There's no debate. This man if he owns a company and he decides to step down from the board and ask the board to replace him with a person, I don't want to say a black person. I was going to say a person of color, a black person. Person of color crap. Like, yeah, I don't know that POC thing. No. So he wants, and these are his words. Specifically, he said, add a person to the board of trustees, a black person. So they got upset over that. So even doing something that he thinks he's right to do, which he says, I have a daughter that I have to explain to her when she gets older, Daddy, what did you do? So exactly that's where he's coming from. But for them to attack Serena and say, well, she made him. No, these are two grown people. He decided what he was, and then they even went live on, I think they went on their Instagram and said why they did what they did. So they made a statement. He made a statement, very clear. Black backlash of the statement from people that don't understand or don't want to understand. So he came out with
so it doesn't matter what you do. There's going to be some backlash because somebody's not going to agree.
So they came out with the video explaining exactly why, and people still don't get it. So my point to that is that people aren't going to, if they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it. But that doesn't mean that we stop doing what we need to do, especially people like Alex Ohanahan, I think his name. He's doing his part. Him and other people.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with Alex Ohanahan, but okay.
He's the founder of Reddit. He's the founder of Reddit. William says, under the rug, we will all find these three things. A, guilt, shame, and fear. B, strange fruit. C, institutionalized racism, period. Yes, exactly. Taji says, see, exactly. That's the point. People are saying what they're saying. But what we're talking about with the hard conversations is you must have the hard conversation. You cannot silence people's voices. Facebook just told you if you're the admin of a okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm saying please don't silence these voices as a business owner because they will just set up a website and have the conversation with your name all over the website. You understand? You must let it roll. You must let people speak and speak in their authentic voice. Please don't go in and edit their post.
Right. And Taji says that's Serena. Yes, that's what I was saying. I didn't say his name when I was mentioning her husband, but his name is Alex Ohanahan. He's the founder of Reddit. He stepped back. I think after they had their daughter, he stepped back from day-to-day running. Because it was too much. He wanted to be a father. He's also concerned about fathers' rights and parental rights as far as having children and having males be able to step back from high-profile job and not be denigrated or looked down upon for wanting to spend time with their children. He's basically saying it's not just the woman's job to take off from work when you have a kid and raise the kid. Okay. And he's saying the fathers should be allowed. So that's leave. So paternal leave. Yes, he's all about family leave. So he did that already. So that kind of shows you his frame of mind. And then he decided now he's like, I got to go further with it. So I applaud what he did. Bonnie, hey Bonnie, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Claudia says, I'm tired of explaining to people, just like I have to use resources to remain prevalent in society. Curious folks can do the same. Exactly. We are tired. That's what we said at the beginning of the show, that we're done explaining. We can't put the 400 years of everything in these 2 weeks. So the conversation is the hard conversation is going to continue. Get used to it. Is there? Yeah. So Claudia is right. I like the fact that there are people when they ask for help, they are getting some help, but just be aware that some people are tired and don't feel like explaining because when you want to learn something, you go to Google, right? So go to Google. What I've been doing, what other people I've seen other people do is like on their stories or on their social media posts, say, go watch this, go see that. These are the books you need to read. So do that work. We're not going to do that work. I mean, some people are going to be helpful, and some people, I'm just saying, some people aren't going to help you when you say, I don't understand. And then
Some
they're
folks are
going to,
just exhausted from
yes,
the
and just,
everyday journey.
right. And just realize that some people are just tired from this journey and some aren't. So keep asking the question. You'll get somebody that might help you. Or here's the thought. There's Google and there's lots of great voices on Google with websites and things to learn. And then go ahead.
When I turned on Amazon last week, they had a whole series of movies and documentaries.
Yes, Amazon and also PBS.
Amazon
PBS is good. PBS is a good resource. They have an app for Roku, Apple TV. They have an app for your phone. They have an app for your tablet. PBS, people. PBS.org. Bonnie says, that was interesting to see him step down, made a huge immediate message. Yes, I applaud him for that. I thought, but see, again, that's him absorbing everything. And he's been looking at stuff because, like I said before, he's with that he's down with parental leave for men and not having it be a stigma if you want to leave your job and take care of your child. So he's always been in that space of being aware of societal issues. So this wasn't a shock to me. I just thought it was interesting. I said, oh, that's cool. And I went by my business. And then I saw the blow up because, well, Serena made him. No.
Girl,
no.
Please.
No. Bonnie also says people need to understand that it should be on them to learn, read, Google, listen, watch. Hello. The information is in front of you. Exactly. We have a phone. You have a computer. You have some kind of device that allows you to get to Google or Bing or whatever search engine you choose. But the search engine just leads you to the information. The content is there. So you do the digging. Also, if you go to Facebook and type in some things, you'll find stuff. You'll find lots of stuff. Twitter, again, Twitter's not some people's cup of tea. I understand that because it's unfiltered. It's unfiltered information. So you kind of have to know the person before you take their, take it for face value. So kind of you need to vet people, vet voices on Twitter. But I love Twitter because that's where I go because I get it. It comes up right away. Whenever something comes up, a conversation that people are having, say, in a couple days, I'm like, already seen it on Twitter. I've already read it. And so it always, the conversation is starting there first. So that's all I'm saying about Twitter. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But try it and see and just realize that it's unfiltered information and you have to vet it. William says, yes, I am not your Negro. I watched it on Amazon. Yes, it's on Amazon. It's also on PBS. I put a link in one of my stories, I think, too, for people to watch. Bonnie, PBS.org. Yes, a wonderful resource for years. And Taji says, these people, I'm reading it in her voice, these people. I agree. Claudia says, I have not considered this year a terrible year. It has helped me to do people elected me. I like that word. People elected me. Folks have come out the woodworks during COVID and protests that have been hiding. I have canceled a lot of folks. Yes. And Taji said she already said, I'm not making any effort to educate anyone or your fingers broken. Bonnie says, people elected me. I love it. Isn't that I love people. Isn't that a great word?
Yes,
I love that. And I agree with Claudia. I don't see this as a terrible year. At the beginning, I thought, oh, wow. When we remember in January, we started off with the conflict with Iran and we were like, oh, we're going to get into war with Iran. Remember that? It seems like ages ago.
Girl, every day it's something new with 45. So you know what? I have become numb to him. But
right.
Okay.
Right. Remember that we started off with that? And look where we are
I
now.
don't understand. Well, how you going to buy medicine from a country that you're insulting?
We're not even gonna that's a whole can of worms.
Girl, please help us, people.
No, I'm not gonna talk about administration because it's there for you to see if you choose to see it. The terrible year comment, I don't know.
No.
I don't see it as a terrible year. Yes, it's been horrible for some people, and I don't want to minimize the fact that some people have lost their family members and a lot of there's been a lot of turmoil and heartache for people. But like I said this last week, this is the turning over of the hard, crusty earth, and you're getting ready to plant something new. So what happens? And then also Carolina said last week about having a baby, the birth of the baby. That process is not pleasant.
Always pretty. It is not always pretty.
I don't know anyone who would say it was, I don't know anyone would say that. But here's the thing. Once you have the birth of the baby, that memory, it's just like a faint, it just floats away on the air and you forget about it. Because if you didn't, you would go, I'm not ever having another child again.
I'm not doing this again. Exactly.
And trust me, the memory of if you had a hard birth, a difficult birth, or whatever, or pleasant, the memory it's like smoke. It just whisks away. So that's what it is. It's like when you and I love to bring up gardening and things like that because you are turning over the earth to make room for new growth. The growth of something new.
Let me tell you about something about gardening. Like my grandmother owned a couple of acres. And so we would go out in the spring and take, what would you call them? Little torches and burn the worms out of the peach trees and out of the apple trees.
Yes,
they had
the smoke. Yeah, the smoke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and pull down those webs. And then she would pull out the rototiller. If the ground was too hard, she was tired of using a hoe. She went and bought a rototiller and a tractor. Okay, she was not playing. She's like, and this is a woman who cut railroad ties and picked cotton. Okay, she knew what it was to do hard work. But at some point, you gotta up your game and get a rototiller. Okay.
It's hard work is the point. It's hard work. No matter if you use a hoe with your hands or you have you have a big machine, farm machinery that does it, but the work has to be done. That's the hard part of it. Okay, so we said all that and everybody is kind of getting the feeling of it's hard, but I want you to always think about the coming out of it. And if you watch Game of Thrones, the show that was on HBO, it ended badly. I know that, but there was something in one of the earlier seasons where the character said chaos is a ladder. They were talking about the chaos of upturning the kingdom and all that. And the person said chaos is a ladder. And I was like, that's kind of interesting because that's a term that's also connotates growth of something. The same way I said you turn over the earth and you have new soil to have something grow. So that was the thing about the ladder coming out of chaos, which means something coming out of all of the bad that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So people that you're in the pit of chaos, you're not seeing the ladder that it's going up and there's some sunlight and we're going to make something out of this hard time and grow up and out of it. So that's how I see it when you say about a terrible year. Well, I know Claudia didn't say it, but she's saying people have said that.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for complacency to die. Complacency is gone. You were in a good spot. That's good for you, but a lot of people were not in a good spot. And there's a yin and a yang and a balance. It can't stay one side up. Seesaw. One side is up, one side is down. Well, that side has been up for a long time. It's time for your side to come down and the other side to go up. So that's what's happening. And it has to be terrible things happen that's where the chaos is a ladder thing comes from. It can't be, you don't learn the lesson if it's pleasant. That's the same thing we were saying with childbirth. It's not something that, I really want to do that again. you do that because the memory goes away, but you have to go through that hard process. So the hard conversations we're having now, it affects your business because it shows who you are. It shows other people what you're about. And I've seen a lot of posts online saying, oh, 10, these people unfollow me. 1,000 people unfollow me. And they said, but that's good because you want the people that follow you to align with your message. If they don't align with your message, that's okay. Everybody's not your audience. It's not, you need to have people follow you that align with your message. So those people that left because you talked about Black Lives Matter, you don't need them. Guess what? You're going to get more customers because you talked about the fact that Black Lives Matter or your feelings or how you feel about it.
Absolutely. And you're going to get loyal customers.
You're going to get loyal customers because they're going to align with you because you finally told your message about who you are. So I'm saying stand up in your spot and say, this is how I feel about this, that, and the other. Whether it's you agree or you disagree. But those people that align with your message are going to follow you. So you lost some followers. I've seen the attitude of people like, that's okay, because I'm going to get new ones. I see some comments.
Some comments.
Okay, here we go. Brenda says, colored is a lame term. It's like saying opaque. Our blood runs the same color as human beings, and we have the capacity of thought and action different from animals, which is why we're human beings. We're all different colors. This isn't art or color theory. We don't have animal instincts. We have survival instincts. Learn from each other, value life regardless of skin tone. I love that. And also the color term was, like we said earlier, was the space and time where we was. I think that's pre-50s. We were colored. There's a line where everything changed from colored to Negro to Black. There's a line in history with timeline. I mean.
And it changed from Black to colored to Negro to Black because you had the Black codes during the slave era. So it was like, okay.
So Tachi says, "Wow, that's some serious farming." Bonnie says, "Growth is always messy and it yields progress for the future." Yes, I love the way you put in that, Bonnie. I love that. Chaos is the ladder. Yes. And Bonnie says, time for complacency to die. That's what's happening. That's what we're saying. That's what everyone says. Brenda says, never watched Game of Thrones. I'm enjoying the PBS special about Africa currently. Okay, good.
I never watched Game of Thrones either.
It's a popular show, and it had, it has some themes that are universal, but PBS is a good. You can never go wrong with PBS, is what I'm trying to say. It's a good source. Tasha says, exactly. And Barbara says, we're at the point of no return. Now keep going. Yes, we're going to keep going. Keep marching, keep going. Brenda says, I'm not Indian. I'm Native American. My nations are the Shasta and Wind Tongue. I hope I said that right. That's good to know, Brenda. Because see, that's her perspective. And we need to hear that.
And mine is Blackfoot. My great-grandmother was Blackfoot.
Okay, yeah, so. Taji says Jeff Bezos said the same thing when he published a comment from the customer who had a problem with Amazon's stance on the current situation. He was like, buy Wish. Yes, I love it. I love what he did because he got it. If you don't know the situation, I'll just explain a little bit. Jeff Bezos posted an email he got from an irate customer because I forgot exactly what it was that Amazon stands on Black Lives Matter, and the person was like, all lives matter, and he kind of came back at them with an answer. So it's on his Instagram.
Okay,
I'll put the link in later if you want to find it. I think he posted on Instagram. So, I mean, we're saying all this. I want to wrap it up because we got to go. But I want to show you one thing that, we got to have a solution for going forward for us business owners. How are we going to go forward? And I already said that we're going to do the hard work, the hard conversations. We're going to do that. But I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can.
Empathy.
I'll put the link.
I can read that part.
I'm going to put the link in the chat. This is a link to Empathy Wines. It's a vineyard started on the premise of empathy. And here I'm putting it in there. You can take a look. Empathy Wines. Their statement is there. I'm going to read it. To all of us who are feeling heartbreak, loss, frustration, confusion, or fear in regards to the challenges our country is facing, we stand together in solidarity. In addition to having love, empathy, and compassion for others, there must be more accountability. There must be better education and better parenting, and there must be a more safe, tolerant, and sophisticated conversation regarding our differences. Please listen to your friends, coworkers, and family. Please consider and acknowledge their points of view. Please have empathy and compassion for them. Meet intolerance with tolerance. Please share how you feel and also be open-minded enough to allow room for change. We feel deeply in this loss. We feel deeply for this loss of life, and it's time we do better. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Now, I mentioned this because the word empathy, that's what you have to use now, the word empathy. And empathy is just, I'm going to read the definition because I want to explain a little bit.
Yes.
It's the empathy.
Real clear.
Empathy is the ability to understand how someone feels because you can imagine what it's like for them. It's not sympathy. People get these two terms mixed up. Sympathy is a natural feeling of kindness and understanding that you have for someone who is experiencing something very unpleasant. So that's the feeling of kindness is sympathy. We're not talking sympathy. We're talking empathy, the ability to understand how someone feels because you can imagine what it's like for them. In a nutshell, how does it feel to be in their shoes when you think about empathy? That's what we need. Yes, Bonnie says, yes, this is Gary V Winery. He's a business part. He's a part of it with 3 other wine farmers. You can go to empathywines.com and learn more, or you can go to that post. But when I thought about, okay, what did we do? What's the way we're going to do things now as business owners? What is the key term? Empathy. That means putting yourself in other people's shoes. And don't worry about, well, what about me? Someone else is going to feel empathy for you. See, that's how it works. It comes all around. So don't go, well, what about me? You say, what about them? I don't understand, but let me try to understand. That's empathy. Let me try to put myself in their shoes. That's empathy. I'm going to try to feel and imagine how would they feel. That is going to take you forward from, I believe, from now on. We're not, I hear people going, oh, I can't wait to go back to normal. We're not going back to normal. We're going forward to something new in the future. This word empathy, get used to it, get feeling, understand it. If you don't understand it, try, because that is the thing that is going to bring your brand, your business forward with everybody marching forward. You see what I'm saying?
Because the normal of the past wasn't working for everybody, people.
Wasn't working.
It wasn't working for everybody. It wasn't working. A segment of the population.
Now, I want to bring up something else about empathy, because you can say, oh, that's good. That's a good statement. But what are they doing? What are they doing? I got the part for that too. Hold on. What are they doing? Because remember, we said it earlier, talking a good game, talk is cheap. What are you doing? Oh, I have to put my birthday in, guys, because it's wine by law. So hold on. Hold on. Is it coming up? Oh, hold on. Let me not put my, it was on screen. Hold on, guys. I got to put my birthday in to go to the site. Okay. All right. Let me bring it back. Oh, there we go. All right. So what is empathy doing? And you can go to empathywines.com. I'm going to put the link in. Hold on. I'm going to put the link in, guys, for you, because I know sometimes you're not able to see clearly. So you need the link. So when you go to their website, they have a banner at the top. Empathy Bubbles and Rose not available. $10 of every case goes to No Kid Hungry. So that's at the top when you go to the main website. When you click on the link, it shows you what they're doing. They are contributing $10 for every case purchased now through September, and they kicked it off with a $5,000 donation up front. Now it seems it's not millions of dollars, but if they're doing it now through September, that's a long time. That's a long time. So they're saying they're partnering with No Kid Hungry, a campaign to end childhood hunger in America. We believe there's no better time than now to support this initiative. Start shipping Tuesday, May 26th. So they have they made a product they're giving away, donate to end childhood hunger. They explain why you can make a difference. All you do when you buy this product. There's a video here. I think this is the video where Gary is explaining why he started Empathy Wines or went into partnership because he owns it with three other wine farmers.
Winemakers.
Yeah, winemakers. So they're actually the farmers. They have the vineyard. It's all in this video. So I wanted to show you that because it's like, okay, you say one thing, but what are you doing? And I love this tagline. Wine is an everyday luxury. Food shouldn't be. Why is that a great tagline? Because he's targeting people who are maybe in a position of privilege who order wine by subscription because it costs a lot of money. It's not, $10 a month. It's a lot more than that. But he's saying you see wine as an everyday luxury, but there are people that are not eating. There are kids that are not eating. There's family. So we don't want that to happen. So when you buy this product, you're donating, you're giving money to kids who are not eating.
And is that a domestic effort? Is that a USA effort?
They go into where they ship. I don't think they ship outside of they don't ship outside of the United States. So this is US only. And there's certain states that that you can't ship wine to. They go into all of that. Yeah. But I just wanted to show that they made a product, special product, instead of saying, oh yeah, we should, empathy this. They're like, okay, we made a special product because we know people like to drink rosé. It's summertime, whatever. You can still have your thing that you like, but just realize that when you buy more of it, you're giving more money to the cause that can help someone who is not as fortunate as you. That's empathy. That's the whole idea behind the company and the word. So that's all I'm saying about empathy. That's the word going forward. Okay. Claudia said something. Let me bring this up. Please get to know what is going on in a community you haven't lived. Yes, that's a part of the empathy. If you don't know, if you can't imagine it, well, reach out and try to figure it out.
Brenda
try
has
to
to go.
ask.
See you later, Brenda.
Okay. Oh, Brenda, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here.
And adding to the conversation.
Yes. I love everybody's voices. I'm glad when everybody shows up because all your voices, your comments, they bring more to the table, to the conversation. It's not just, Terry and I here. You guys are here too, not on screen, but you're here with your voice. So we want to hear that. I want to hear your comments. So I love that. And unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. We did start late, and things are happening in the background, but we did start late because of some technical issues. I'm sorry about that. If you want to know more about empathy or you don't understand the concept or you want to know more, let me know. Come and find me and I'm going to put the banner up. Find me here, Terry Johnson Online, at Terry Johnson Online. I'm everywhere. Google me or go in the Biz Chick page or the Biz Chick group. Say, ask there. We're everywhere. I like to say we're everywhere. That's why I'm using online, because we're everywhere. Okay. So I'm glad we had this conversation. Hard conversation was the title. I'm going to put it back. Hard conversations, because that's what's necessary. So things are happening. And I said last week that things were going to keep going up to the minute. Every day was going to be something new. You see it, right? Every day there's something new, but it's for the good of society. And you as a business owner, use that empathy, put it into your strategy, and it's going to help you go forward. Especially when you don't know, well, what should I do? What should I say? Think about that empathy and try to implement that into your business strategy, what you're doing every day. Okay. So if you confused or anything. Gabby says, wait, Terry, I need to know where you got the giant teacup. Show us the teacup.
You can order these. I make these for Biz Chicks.
You had another one that had a different font with Biz Chicks that was like a block letters.
Yes, block one. Yes, my daughter made that for me.
So see, there you go. She said,
Direct
"Thank you."
message me.
Yeah.
Gabby.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, if you have questions, comments, anything, put them in the chat. Reach out to me, Terry Johnson Online, or reach out to Biz Chicks. We are going to help you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help.
Mhm.
Okay. And then tomorrow we have Coach Karen, right, Carolina?
Coach Karen is in the house. We're going to be talking about your money mindset, how to bring profits in daily. And in this atmosphere, we need to know how to make some money during this situation
Yeah,
without
these
offending
trying
people,
times.
without having people, just come at us. People
Yeah.
still need stuff, folks. So,
Of course, we still need to run the businesses. So we're doing everything every day. Biz Chicks, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're here to help. Okay. So just come on in, tune in, put your voices, let your voice be heard, and we're gonna get through this. It's going to be okay, people. It's
exactly.
going to be okay. All
And
right.
in
So
the
we will see
meantime,
you.
don't forget to go to the front of your own mind. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching, guys. And thanks to the replay viewers.